Are you like a crazy person?
I'm quite sure they will say so.
Now, hats, coats, galoshes over here. But hurry, please. We have so much time and so little to see. Wait a minute. Strike that. Reverse it.
We're not like you. We're grown-ups.
I don't know what we're yelling about!
I've not come for what you hoped to do. I've come for what you did.
This week, I'd like to share a personal story with you, a parenting story. I video call with my son each weekend, and being it's on his tablet and he hasn't been supported with video call etiquette in his environment, I spend a lot of time looking at his forehead, or the ceiling, watching him pretend he's paying attention while he plays with other applications on the tablet while forgetting that I can see him, receiving 47 emojis in a row, and doing my best not to call him out for these too harshly because I don't want him to completely hate that time together. I always ask about school, exercise, and creative projects that he is working on, but mostly to prompt his interest in sharing. I don't pry. I know he doesn't always want to talk about school. So this past weekend, I asked him how his video game was going. He had talked the previous week about completing so many levels. Oh yeah, I beat that last boss, and I know how to beat the next one too. Wait, how do you know how to beat the next one if you haven't gotten to him yet? Oh, I watched this video? My son, half of my DNA, is watching YouTube videos to pre-cheat on video games. I was beside myself, and I definitely called him out for this. Yes, I masked my true frustration with a light, joking tone, but I was fired up. I may have even told him that I was dedicating myself to practicing the games that I have for us to play because there's no YouTube video on how to beat your papa. This isn't the only time he is shown to choose the path of least resistance. One of my sharpest, most painful memories as a father was when he shared with me about the time he scored a goal in soccer. He scored on his own goal. No, he didn't accidentally score on his own goal. He told me specifically that he went that way because no one was trying to stop him. I can't. I just can't. I crave challenge. I crave an unsolvable puzzle. I crave an unbeatable foe. Competition fills my soul. I will ignore the obvious nature versus nurture conversation here. That would be a whole other fireside with a very different tone. What this sparked in me, well, besides that angry embarrassment, which is clearly a result of my own issues, was an investigation into that relationship with children who aren't you. It happens all the time, and it definitely happens in the classroom. What do you do with a child you don't understand? Step 1. Ask them what's wrong with them. No, I'm kidding. Sort of. But investigation is necessary. Of course, they may not be able to verbalize why they are the way they are. Even asking, however, may spark some introspection on their part and maybe an open discussion to sift through for clues. And remember, this is not a search for keys to changing them necessarily, but for understanding them so you can communicate on the appropriate wavelength. Step 1B. Be prepared for the exact answer you would expect. With our advanced adult brains thinking 3 steps ahead, we will often overlook the obvious answer and be taken by surprise. So, why do you look it up before you even try to beat the boss on your own? Because it's easier. Oh, well, yeah, that makes total sense. Step 2. Observe them in light of that trait in many different settings. See if this is consistent across multiple avenues of life. Is there some area of life where that behavior doesn't hold true? For example, my son will spend a lot of concentrated time on drawing. We're going to ignore the fact that he also prefers to trace, which totally fits his profile of doing what's easier. When recognizing his behavior and not interrupting while it's in motion, I have another line of questioning for later. I noticed that you were really locked in on that picture you were drawing. What did that feel like? Did you even notice me walk by? Again, our goal is twofold. 1, gain an understanding of our alien child. 2, spark that internal questioning of the alien child itself. Why do I focus more when I do A than when I do B? Step 3, model, model, model. Now, ideally, we are doing this anyway. We demonstrate our genuine character around our children, around our students. We let them see what being us looks like in work, in play, and in leisure. And we all know they are watching, judging, and processing. Again, in my case personally, I step my game up a bit as both a teacher and a father. I want to deliberately show what is possible. This includes the moments of being human, being upset, having a disagreement, being exhausted. It is good for that little walking sponge to see. Within this comes a demonstration of the trait in question. Has my son seen me sit and work on a puzzle for hours, only to throw it on the floor, walk away, and end up working on it again? More than once. I can't control how he interprets this, but I can embody that character that drives me. Step 4. Love the aberration of your genetics that they are. They aren't supposed to be us. Often as children, they show only the worst of our traits, or at least that is what we are programmed to see. Because we are critical of ourselves, the bits and pieces that we like the least about ourselves are the most clear in our child. Out of fear, out of concern, out of love, we want better for them and we want them to be better. They deserve love from us for who they are at each and every moment of their development. Even in the moments we least understand what they are doing, why they are doing it, what could possibly have been going through their mind when they did it, they are relatively lovable creatures. Now, our love does not have to be demonstrated in only hugs and cupcakes and words of affirmation. Remember that love is also sternness, boundaries, and rules. I required help with this one and was reminded that he at least showed the resourcefulness to look up how to beat the next level. I still don't buy it, but it's something. It can be difficult to look at your child and trust that cream rising to the top won't just be that layer of skin on pudding that only a very few actually enjoy. The good news is that's a very fragile layer if it does develop. Our children's journeys are their own, decisions made, lessons learned, and everything in between. My son is going to learn that there isn't a cheat code to beat dedication and hard work, and I'm going to enjoy every minute of it. And in the end, rest assured, puberty and adolescence is going to completely muddle anything you worked into their personality before it, but this will mean that they are one step closer to having answers to some of those questions you asked them while they were growing up.